Are we live?
We are not live.
All right, we are now live, and this is Senate Health and Welfare Committee meeting, January 9th. We're starting at 10:15, a little before our 10:30 agenda, just to have a little short discussion, or I have a couple of cleanup areas for us on different sort of procedural stuff. But before we start, we always talk about something that makes us feel good at the beginning of our meetings, sometimes before the meetings. Today I have something to share broadly with the committee and others, and that is that Congresswoman Ballin had a challenge for high school kids for an app. And so high school kids started working on different apps, and the boy who was selected this year happened to be from my town, from the Champlain Valley Union School District, and his name is Clay Nicholson, and he developed an app called Lexicam, and it is an app that allows for folks with dyslexia to take a picture of a sign or language, and then that sign or language is then translated into one of many different languages and spoken out loud, so that the person who may not learn best by reading will hear the message. So this is an app. Take a picture, have it translated orally so you can hear it, and it helps folks with dyslexia. I think that is really amazing.
That is cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And interestingly enough, the winner last year was, I think, from St. George, which is also the Champlain Valley School District. So what a neat, I didn't know that she was doing that challenge for kids.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Great, so
We'll
have to send a shout out to both Clay and Congresswoman Ballin for good work.
we should have them into our Senate Education Committee to talk about the app, because it seems very relevant to literacy and education
Absolutely.
in general, so, yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I'll try and, I'll get you the
Cool.
info.
Thank
Or
you.
You can reach out to Representative Congresswoman Ballin for that.
Great.
So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on, and the kids are helping all of us. I just wanted to point out something to you. We're going to be looking at Act 76, the child care bill, and some of the law, and some of the good work that's going on when our witnesses come in very soon. But I asked Kiki to put this chart up, this table up on the wall of the timeline for implementation. So and we have it on our webpage for today. So as we look at, it's hard to imagine that we did all of that in that bill, but there it is. That's all the that's the child care law implementation timeline.
Okay.
For all the different parts of it. And when Janet McLaughlin and Morgan Crossman come in, I think they will be referring to that.
Okay. Yep, I saw
And I
Morgan.
believe this was put together in Janet's department. That's good. So I really don't have that much more except to say we have a training this afternoon, 2 o'clock on, which training is it?
Sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Prevention.
Yeah. How to prevent sexual harassment.
Big.
Okay.
That is the key word. That's an important word there. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to, does anyone else have anything they'd like to share at this point or questions? We did get a whole nother list of bills in, and as we put them up on our court board, we'll go through the bills that we get. January 18th is the last day for introduction. So we will, we may hold off for the next long list of bills. We have a lot of bills scheduled this week and probably next week. We'll go through as many bills as we can, and we'll start picking up bills that we would like to work on. That, and then this week, we also have a joint meeting with House Healthcare on Act 167 implementation, and that's the healthcare reform bill we passed last May. And there's a lot of work going on there. It does influence some of our thinking around next steps in healthcare reform. And so as we take up our S211 and S151, which are also on healthcare reform, we'll be trying to make sure we integrate all of the components of both 167 and other areas. So we will pick up S211 on Friday. S151 we went through briefly last week. So there you are.
What's the difference, I'm trying to remember this, between S188, an act relating to supports for childcare providers, and
That S188, as we said, you know, we'll look at that tomorrow.
right,
I don't want
see
to
that.
confuse us with anything
Okay.
new, but
Okay,
when you go through, when you have a big bill put out like the one here up on the wall,
yeah,
there are places that people think improvements should be made or changes should be made. So that's what S188 is, to begin that discussion.
it sort of was pulled out of this one?
No, it might make technical corrections, it might add things that are missing.
Okay.
So there's both of those in the bill.
Thank you, okay,
You know, we'll decide how much we want to do with it.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. So let's just take let's go off live